Thank you very much. And with this, it goes back to First Government Deputy Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We can all agree about the horrible things that are going on in Greece right now. And everybody can agree that change must happen. Right now, you see the consumer confidence in Greece and the corruption that is effect of that. And whenever we change that, we are going to change the outlook that Greece has by other countries and also the trade of that. And I will prove to you that in my positive material whenever I explain how effective this military is going to be and how necessary these hard stances are. But first, I will go into a few points of rebuttal. They say that the suspension will be long-term, and so the military will be in there long-term. And they say that this military is bad, that they don't like, that other outside traders aren't going to like the perception of this totalitarian, military, you know what I'm saying, government. I don't want to. But we say that this is actually going to increase the consumer confidence. Whenever we see that the political corruption is out, and that the effective changes are going to be made through policy to effectually get Greece out of its economic slump, that is going to increase consumer confidence. Right now, the corruption that is going on inside Greece is deterring all of these investors and things of that nature. Also, proof of this corrupt government is in all the riots and protests that is brought up by side opposition. They say that unions and labor riots have been rioting against the government. This is because they do not have their best interests at hand. These people continually are subjected to higher taxes because the government does not want to decrease its austerity measures. Whenever we see that we will enact policies that will decrease these austerity measures while keeping these unions happy, we are going to increase the efficiency of Greece, which is going to be very appealing to these investors. And they bring up the point that this military is going to be potentially corrupt. And they bring the examples of Egypt and what happened there. We say that the potential corruption is not a reason to deter this plan from happening, especially whenever you see the current corruption that is already in Greece. It can't get any worse. Ours is actually better because we are creating change. And changing this government is going to be best.
If the military accounted for more than 25% of an increase during Greece's boom year in terms of corruption, what makes you think that the military would necessarily be less corrupted than the Greek government?
Because they're going to be led by these advisors that my partner clearly states. This is something that was not found in Egypt either. Egypt's economy and reform was just up to their corrupt government. Whenever you see that we are going to have an outside entity that is going to come in and inform these Greeks on how they should effectively do this, we see that we solve for that, and we prevent that from happening in the future. Okay, on to my positive material about how the military is the best, most efficient way to do this. Right now, the corruption in Greece is apparent. We say that because of all these protests, these people have disapproval of their government. Whenever you see the public, whenever they look at government, they do not agree with it, and they want them out. They do not like what they are doing. The public does not agree with it. Whenever the military comes in and overthrows the government, this is going to please the public. They're going to see that the military is going to have their best interests at hand because they are taking out the corruption that is already going on. So we can see that this also aligns with the Greek constitution, that it allows this to happen in an emergency situation. This is an emergency situation. Whenever you see the riots and the protests, people actually being harmed by setting cars on fire and breaking windows, we see that we're going to stop this. We're going to stop this. Also, we have the moral duty to stop this, because this keeps going. This is only going to get worse with the government staying in place. Also, Also, you're going to have no oppression of the public. This military is not going to go in and keep people from doing their jobs or make them stay in their houses and things of that nature. The public is not going to be expected to house these military personnel in any way. They are going to go on with everyday life exactly like what's happening right now. The only thing that is changing is that the government is going to be overthrown, and the government is going to be required to change in order to be effective in the future.
On that point, sir.
Sure.
If austerity and non-austerity are two opposite points whereby you cannot have both, which side will the military choose?
We say that you can have austerity. There is a balance. That is what's working right here. You have to have appropriate austerity measures with the appropriate taxing measures. We can see that this right now is not being met, and this is why there is so much public disapproval. That because the government wants to increase its austerity measures, they have to increase taxes, which is oppressing the public. They do not like to see that most of their paycheck is going to the government that they do not support. And so we're going to see that this is going to decline. But these people are going to approve of the military, and they are going to have adequate austerity measures that Greece can afford. What they are trying to do right now is completely unrealistic, and it is why the public is in such an uproar. Also, I would like to, second point is that Greece deserves this. Whenever they are very in approval of the public, this looks bad on Greece. Whenever we see that Greece is going to take measures to improve their economic stance, also their domestic relations with the public, this is going to be seen as an increase in an international world, like my partner explains. And that the trade will be looking forward, will increase because that perception is going to be good. It's not going to look bad just because of potential military corruption. You do not prove that the military is corrupt or will be under these measures, also with the external advisement. So, at the point where we are taking hardline stances to change the policies, to get Greece back on track, and to appease the public so that they have better working conditions and do not have to lash out with these riots and everything. We're going to see Greece increase, these social programs increase, a happier public, and a happier international community. For all these reasons, we are proud to propose this motion.